This is Chapter 2 of The Cyber Effect by Dr. Mary Aiken. Dr. Aiken tells the story of a mother who killed her child when she lost her temper because the baby's crying interrupted her playing a video game. This story highlights the role of technology in the escalation of an explosive act of violence, the impulsive, harmful behavior and consequences that the excessive use of our modern, captivating AI technology can lead to. Impulsivity is the urge to act spontaneously without reflecting on the action and its consequences. People who are impulsive tend to have low levels of self-regulation, high levels of risk-taking, and poor decision-making skills. Diagnosed disorders that are characterized by impulsivity include attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, especially the manic pole, substance addiction, and pathological gambling. There are three aspects of impulsivity: physical, cognitive, and sensory. When a child is diagnosed with an executive function disorder like ADHD, one component is usually suppressed response inhibition. They can't restrain themselves. Someone with OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder, also has these traits and finds urges extremely hard to control or resist. Same is true for alcoholics, drug addicts, and nicotine addicts. Same has been found with excessive gaming and internet use. Now, impulsivity and compulsivity are different. Impulsive internet use is triggered by a stimulus, like the beeps and buzzes and lights on our smartphones, whereas compulsive use is planned and repetitive. Why do some individuals struggle more than others to pull themselves away from their mobile phones and computer screens? Well, it has to do with the reward we get from failing. The small intermittent rewards we get from things like playing the lottery are strongly reinforcing. Intermittent, unpredictable, random rewards are called a variable ratio schedule of reinforcement. Random, unpredictable reinforcement has been shown in countless studies to be more effective at motivating people to engage in the target behavior than other more predictable schedules of reinforcement. When someone buys scratch-off lottery tickets or gambles at a casino, the rush of excitement that they feel when they think they might win is reinforcing and makes them come back for more, makes them keep playing. This in itself is reinforcing. The underlying cause of reinforcement is the release of dopamine that occurs when we expect or anticipate a reward, not when we get a reward, but just anticipating the reward. Just the anticipation, feeling the thrill of the possibility of getting the reward, is reinforcing. Increased dopamine causes positive feelings. Later in our class, we'll learn that actually getting the reward is fueled by a rise in endorphins. And this is a different system than the dopamine system. In game design, getting rewarded by failure, getting rewarded by just playing the game, is called fun failure. You failed to get the reward, but it was still fun because of the rise in dopamine. Online activity offers a sense of safety. Joining online groups or games creates a sense of community or belonging. I, your professor, Dr. Bjornson, argue that this is one of the highest genetically driven traits of human beings, the need to belong. I think this drives our use of social media. We also get what Dr. Aiken calls esteem satisfaction when someone likes our post or a photo. Internet use and social media use causes the brain to release loads of dopamine and offers an effective cure for loneliness. Novelty, or newness, also triggers the feel-good chemicals. Since the internet, social media, video gaming, contexts are always changing, there is a never-ending source of novelty. New posts, new photos, new levels of a game, and new things to buy online. We get high on likes, but just posting information about ourselves online increases pleasure. About 40% of daily speech, research shows, is comprised of self-disclosure statements. But when we go online, self-disclosure statements increase to about 80% of what we post. The researcher Jaak Panksepp described the seeking system, something that drives humans and animals to seek information that will help them survive. This system relies heavily on dopamine and encourages foraging, exploration, investigation, curiosity, craving, and expectancy. Panksepp spent decades mapping the emotional systems in the brain and calls seeking the granddaddy of the systems. Seeking is so fundamental, so essential to our survival, that it may even constitute what we think of as our core self. This seeking system probably explains why humans are so highly adaptable to new environments. Parenthetically, this natural instinct was, of course, highlighted in popular culture in the phrase used in the TV show and movies of Star Trek. Quote, "Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before." Now our exploration is directed to the internet. Addiction is an excessive form of seeking. Dopamine is being released, keeping the person in a constant state of alert expectation. This is one reason it's so hard to resist the internet and social media. It is always delivering a wild surprise, breaking news, fun games, etc., etc. The Latin word addictus referred to the period of time that was served by an indentured slave. The average adult checks the phone more than 200 times per day, research shows. After work, the average person is checking his or her smartphone every 6 minutes. Just checking raises your level of dopamine, anticipating novelty. Past research on classical and operant conditioning, marketing research, and research in the field of communications clued app developers into the reality that coupling related stimuli to our digital devices and the functioning of their apps would enhance our use of them. So they added lights, beeps, buzzes, notifications, and alerts. And these are called secondary reinforcers. Just seeing a liquor bottle or needle triggers dopamine release in an alcoholic or addict. And these alerts on our smartphone trigger uncontrollable urges to interact with them, to check for novelty. Same as having a fetish or a mobile phone addiction. Signaling theory is a phrase used to explain how animals look for cues that are related to positive and negative stimuli in their environment to engage in mating and avoid dangers. Humans are genetically designed to be on the lookout for snakes and spiders, since they don't announce themselves as readily, like alligators or bears. The blinking light on a mobile phone serves the same purpose as the blinking of a firefly for mating. Auditory signals confer meaning. The yells or screams that we hear from others are different and have a different effect than soft and calming voices. Vibrating, pheromone-releasing bees create secure social bonds in their hive. The same effect is what is produced by your vibrating phone. It wants to bond with you. Just wait until our phones start releasing pheromones. Phone shape, phone size, phone color, these are all signals to others that we are part of a tribe. This is herd behavior. Everyone's doing the same thing so that we feel like we belong in the group. There are now apps to help compulsive users break their patterns of behavior. One is called Break Free Smartphone De-Addiction app. It gives you an addiction score each day, each week, and each month. Another similar app is called Checky. Calm is another app Dr. Akin describes, and this is now the focus of this app is now for meditation and sleep or relaxation. And you can find these easily in your app store. All of these effects and problems are why mindfulness has taken our culture by storm the last several years. Mindfulness, which originated in the philosophy called Buddhism, is focusing one's attention on the moment, the present, the here and now, rather than thinking about the past or the future. Another practical remedy to the problem of eye technology, smartphone, social media, gaming, distraction, or addiction, you can uninstall the apps. Although Dr. Akin describes that unconnecting from the internet can cause mobile connectivity bereavement, characterized by disbelief, anger, panic, and physiological symptoms such as night sweats. Psychologist Kimberly Young recommends a 48-hour digital detox every weekend.